Shining Star, you see the big silver wolf bounding off down the road. What do you want?
I'm a little bit... I'm reluctant to leave the shop. They obviously assaulted it, and the last thing I need to do is go running off while, sort of the next wave. And I'm unaware that some of them have been drawn away. So I do think it's the right thing to do to stick around and be shop guard.
In
fact, you know what? I'll kind of lean back and say, Christabel, all's clear down here. Everything okay upstairs?
Cool. Christabel, you're running away down the back street, which doesn't give you much option in terms of what you want to do. But would you like to roll a 8-sided dice if you have one, but if not, give me a 6-sided dice roll to determine which direction you have gone. I arbitrarily put a north on my map.
I roll. Okay, so this is an 8-sided die, and that is a 4.
A 4. Right. So you dashed out into the darkness behind you, and scrambled away up the side of the hill that the street backs onto, away and to the what I am determining is the south.
Okay.
I'm not going to make a time roll. It's not. It does. It's sort of a scrubby hillside. Eventually becomes another road higher up. So you're running in that direction. Obviously no one else knows this. Okay.
I realized what I wanted to do while I was talking to Christabel, or trying to. The actual physical action, to rewind a little bit, was to try to recover the arrows. And I was just looking for the rule, but I couldn't find it.
The rule is repeated in 2 places under bow and crossbow.
There's different rules for bow and crossbow for recovering your arrows / quarrels.
Repeat it twice. I believe it's something. You roll search.
Ah, okay. For each one?
No, you roll passable versus search. You need a what, and you recover that times 2.
Oh, well, I do quite well, actually. I get... Ooh, I wonder if I get an awesome. Oh, fuck, I miss an awesome by 1 whole percentage point. But I do get a superior search.
Okay, you definitely find both you're able to recover both your arrows.
That's the idea. So I'm basically extracting these 2 arrows as I'm talking up to Christabel, which is just badass. So after that point, my plan is to simply scan the street and stand ready and make sure that nobody's charging the place. I'm saying they couldn't have just sent one demon dog. There's got to be some other people around here. Where the hell is Chris? Where the hell is the girl?
So I am going to, as a result of that, and as you shake out the end of one arrow so the flames blown out, you can, if you'd like, also give me a legends roll with a +2 column shift. +2 column shift, if I didn't tell you.
Oh, right. Man, I am just rocking and rolling on this stuff tonight, although no superiors. My legends isn't great, but it was a great roll. So
cool. This was, for anyone who cares how I find the rules, I felt since you had a superior roll on your search for arrows, you get the benefits of the superior, which is you get a small unexpected bonus. So, yes.
So how many column shifts? 1, 2?
I gave you 2 column shifts.
Okay, so I get a superior result ultimately.
Superior result on column shift. So you recognize this horrible demonic animal.
As a Barghest, I believe, correct?
Absolutely, it's a Barghest. Although it is particularly demonic rather than Fey. I don't know. A good way to describe that. I needed some demons and I didn't have any. So it's a... as I say, the horror slowly sort of burning from the inside out and collapsing inwards, smelling of sulphur and brimstone. And I imagine, since you're an elf, it seems to remind you of the long ago, almost mythical stories that you would have heard about the horrendous army of demonic beings that came to the north and almost wiped out the elves and led to the formation of the with a Sealy Quartermain.
Mhm.
No one in an elven country would obviously have anything to do with this creature. So
No,
probably
I
it's
will. I will look up
been
into the
summoned
night.
by somebody else.
I'll look up into the night at the only nature I can see, which is the night, and say to well, let's see here. As long as I'm doing fine on my legendary, I'll milk it a little bit. No, I'm just gonna have to. It's still gonna have to be Dana. I was looking for the right god just in case. Well, no, I will say.
What sort of
no,
a god are you after?
No, I'm looking at the she gods whom I worship, and I will simply say I dedicate this death, to the glory, to the love of Dana and the finality of Anvara.
Sounds good.
Anvara, take this thing far, far away.
Dogs are following after Christabel. New round. Robbie, you are sprinting down the road after your errant dog, who you controlled and sent off as a distraction.
I had thought the girl might make some howls that Rafe would pick up on, because I'm sure Rafe and I have been around when I'm in wolf form. A kind of come hither call that I might make to Rafe, to turn Rafe around to come back in my direction.
That sounds badass. You can certainly do that. The most appropriate role would seem to be tame, I suppose,
Okay.
unless you are planning to use magic as part of this.
No, I think just
There, strictly speaking, you wouldn't be able to get your hands free. But a tame roll. I'm gonna, like I said, that sounds bad. Plus, hey, I'm not gonna complain if you want to make a load of noise. So you can have a +2 column shift to get that
okay.
roll.
All right, so I got a good result with the column shift.
Good. Okay. You clearly hear an answering call echo across the night. Possibly picked up by other dogs in the vicinity, but definitely you recognize and hear him coming back towards you. At this point, you are probably at least some way down the road away from. Are you waiting there, or?
Yeah, I think what I would do, when I get a sense that he might be getting somewhat close, I think I would go into the shadows and hunker down and get ready to have him perhaps lead, if he's still being chased, have them lead him by, but I'll be ready for a little ambush action.
Cool. We will come back to that in a moment. Shining Star, did you want to convert your dedication of the slaying of this foul demonic beast into an actual devotion?
Like a miracle?
Yeah, only if you wanted to. I'm just talking, the opportunity is there. Plus, the more miracles you roll, the more likely you are to catastrophe in there to get better at it. But it's not something I'm forcing you to do. It's just since you started it, it seems like I was asked a question.
No, I think this is just going to be a little dialogue.
Cool. In that case, is there anything you want to do?
Is everything seem kind of okay out in the street?
As far as you know, based on your previous alert.
I'm going to listen very carefully. I'm going to listen very carefully.
Okay, you can certainly listen. You can have a +1 column shift to detect the very obvious thing that you will definitely hear.
Well, I'm doing pretty well on this stuff with a great roll. And that's a great roll, so with your column shift, that gives me a superior.
Okay, so obviously you hear all the howling of wolves and dogs in the vicinity. Based on being a superior roll, I'm going to say you can recognize the howl of the wolf in it.
Can I tell if they're getting closer or farther or going around and around and around?
So, assuming you're looking out into the street still, you can see where you can just about make out girl in far distance down the road, and hear the howl of that. You recognise Trafe, who you have been familiar with, and you're an elfie matey person. You recognise his call as well, and you can hear him getting closer. Back down the road.
All right. You said there was a window actually in the door, Rod?
He did.
Okay.
That one's still there. The big
yeah, I know. I was
going
going to say we already lost one window, so I'm just going to bash out that one and have the door open. And so that way I can crouch there with my little head peeping up in the frame. And
that
so
seems very sensible.
So therefore I'm going to just wait there with my head peeping up, waiting until somebody whom I can discern is a bad guy so that I can shoot. And if you really want to be cool, I'm doing the 3-knuckle arrow shot thing, where I'll put all 3 of them on there and then just shoot one at a time like that. That's the plan anyway. We'll see.
Okay. Trying to see if there's any particular rules about. So, maybe it comes up down. Right. Okay. You're doing that. Give me an inspiration roll.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Wait, intuition, did you say?
Intuition, yes. Inspiration, because that's in D&D.
Oh, shit. Absolutely awful.
How?
This might actually be, like, really awful. Oh. I get a pathetic. I miss catastrophic by 1 percentage point. I am just like skirting the range between the extreme roll of results.
Okay.
It's like an asymptote, you know. I can approach it, but never.
Okay. You are not intuitive enough to pick up the thing I thought you ought to be intuitive. Might be intuitive to pick up. But you're smashing out the window of the door and crouching down behind it, and behind you, the door in the shop next door opens, and
wait, a door inside the shop opens?
The shop door of the shop next door.
Oh, next door. Okay,
opens,
right.
Yes, and based on your awesome listen roll, you are not surprised when it opens. And
so it's behind me, though. I like crouch down. Yeah. I'm looking up there, and then it's like back there, and I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
And there is a who's my door? There is an elderly elven lady with her long lustrous hair up in rollers, and she is and she is saying, "What's all this noise? Shut up! I was trying to sleep, and now this damn dog shop is causing more trouble." And is generally shouting. I'm sure that can't be a problem later on. Right.
Fuck off and go back in your shop, in your house.
Do you want that to be an actual roll? Because you are still fast?
I am actually thinking that instead of bully, because that is they're not very good for me, trying to think of what I can do that's actually going to do this nicely.
If you're trying to be more polite, it's a
no. I'll say exactly those words, but I'm going to say it with such a charming twinkle, so she knows I mean her no harm at all. I'm going to charm her back in because I am such a charming badass. And I'm really hoping guys, this isn't the demonologist who just sent that thing at us.
So you get a +1. You get a +1 column shift for being so charming.
Of course I do. For a 0-0-0 roll.
Nice.
And I finally get my little check on my charm.
Right. Okay. Not only did she accomplish everything she wanted, she looked good doing it and gained an unexpected benefit. So, yes, the older elf lady.
I almost shot her, guys. I thought about it.
Anyway, so she smiles at you and says, "Oh, you girls these days, I remember my wild youth as well. She's backing back into the shop. And
as depicted in my lifeline of 5.
Yeah.
That's right.
And says she'll be back in a moment with some tea or something. She's gone back in the shop.
Your unexpected benefit is tea.
Well,
There are worse things. I mean, have you seen that list of herbs?